Hey, John. Hi. Pretty good. Yeah, I'm walking without a cane now. So. What's that? Oh, good. What a bummer. Good grief. Well, I guess I haven't taught in here in quite a while. Yeah, on honeymoon.
Hi. How are you? I'm wonderful. How are you?
Evidently, I have a new computer
Oh,
since the last time I taught it here. And this won't plug into my computer anywhere.
oh, that is the issue.
That is a real problem.
Uh-huh. And that's the VGA. The
That
yeah.
is about as
Yeah,
close
it's
as
a
it
different
gets.
one.
Yeah.
Then no.
So
Maybe
so
not.
everybody is it's gonna be in here is gonna have to
I was gonna
have
say,
their own laptop and plug into Zoom.
no, they can. Well, yeah, because you won't be able to show it
Or-
up here, or you could use the computer in here.
Okay, where is that at?
Well, you turn it on.
I would have to, let's see. Should have come in here 5-10 minutes sooner.
It's always that case.
So I'm gonna have to email a PowerPoint.
Or log in as, or yeah, email it to yourself and then log in.
Oh, okay. Open up.
Yeah,
All
and
right.
that should be turning on. So
All right.
I was gonna say you might need to set it up so you can actually see, because I know whenever I'm in here, I'm like, can't see.
Yeah.
Yeah, just open up.
Gmail.
Yep.
All right.
Here, I'll at least get Zoom set for you.
All right, let me go ahead and email.
Showing your Zoom screen. We are just getting situated. It will be starting soon.
So how did so is this a trading screen?
Yeah, I
Okay.
shared the screen, so then you just need
Okay.
to log in. I was gonna say you'll use that one. Yep. And you should be able to log in and be able to see up there.
Okay.
And you should be good. Let me know if you need anything.
Probably. Hi there.
How's everybody?
Good.
Ready to teach us your best skills? You ready to teach us some of your best skills?
Okay, this is a barrier. Get through here.
We can, you want some?
Everybody that's logged in, oh boy, remotely, I emailed out a document for the class. If you had indicated to me that you wanted to be on the call.
Speaking of Mike, Steve? No, Steve,
Huh?
it's the big white ball to your, that's the mic. That might work better.
Handout? Steve? There is. Not for you. Not for me.
Can everybody hear me okay?
Thank you.
All right, can you see the screen? All right. Now are you seeing this?
We have to turn on
MLS.
the mic on your.
Oh, that's, yeah. One or the other.
We're just getting feedback. Go here.
Should I just close? See, this is my laptop and that's, so I should just,
Oh, try going here for the moment. No,
is it working now?
no, still echoes.
Still getting the feedback. What if I moved over on that side so the microphone was further away?
Try that.
Can everybody hear me?
Yes, that's better.
Yes. Yeah, I just unplugged it, so we're good.
Is someone in the Zoom? I can hop in there. There are people that ask questions on the chat.
If we need this.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Is someone checking to see if there's sound through the Zoom?
Oh, I can. I'm trying to figure out.
Can you hear me through your Zoom?
I'm not in there yet.
Okay. Can you, Kelly?
I have not tried.
All right.
I'm gonna get it.
Lisa, can you hear me on?
Yeah, I did go in through Zoom because I figured,
Yeah,
Since
I
I'm
did
here.
the same thing as you.
I can hear you now.
No, I mean, not here, but through Zoom.
No, I'm not on Zoom.
Oh,
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 are any of you seeing this on your screen? The MLS login here.
we're not logged in.
All right.
I'm getting it right now. Yes, we're seeing your screen.
Okay.
And Steve, your voice was coming through.
Okay.
I muted it now, but they should be able to hear you.
All right.
How many are on Zoom, Sarah?
I'm in there till 13 more.
Let's try to make some progress here. I apologize for. So hopefully those of you that are on the Zoom are seeing this screen, the MLS login. Okay. Let's just kind of take a quick walk around what's on the dashboard here. One of the most significant things for me is what I call the market watch here, and you can move these however you want them. With the 7-county market reports that I do every week, this is where I get my numbers. And you can customize this so that right now I have this set up for the 7-county metro. If there was an area that you wanted to watch closely, maybe it'd be a school district, say 194, 196, or a zip code, or more counties or less counties, all you would have to do is, for example, put in here 194 schools and save it. And then what these numbers are going to show you here is this how many properties in 194 schools are coming soon. There's 6. New listings are 16. Closed in the last 14. There's 14 that have closed in the last week. So if we were to click on that, we could see what those properties are. We could sort them by list number. We could sort them by days on market. We could sort them by list price. So I would encourage you to make use of that feature on your dashboard. So I'm going to go back and change that from now I'm going to go customize it again, and I'm going to change it from 190. I'm going to get rid of the 194 schools and just have the 7-county metro. And what's nice about this is like now they're in the last 7 days, and you can customize that too. You can change it to just 1 day or 24 hours or 3 days. But in the last 7 days, there's been 650 properties in the 7-county metro that have gone to pending. And boy, how do I? There we go. And I use this feature right here a lot, the stats, and go to tabular and go all the way to the bottom. And you'll see that there's 650 properties. The average list price is $359,938. The average days on market is 36.39. So I record this every day, the 36.3. And what can sometimes, as you might well know, it's important to have a large sampling to have decent statistics. So we've got 650 here, and there's one property that was on the market for 467 days before it sold. So if we were to go or went to pending, if we go back up here and we look for that 467 days right here, it was a $499,900 house. It was on the market 467 days before it moved to pending. So sometimes those numbers can throw off your statistics if you don't have a big enough sampling. But we've got a big enough sampling that 467 days there is not going to mess us up. Does that make sense? Yay or nay? I've got a few in the room here.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would encourage you to make use of this Market Watch. Down here are my favorite searches. So if you've got a hot buyer and you got them on an automatic email, I would encourage you maybe to put them here under my favorite searches. Most everything I have here right now is related to my brokerage, but so and I've only got 6 here right now. But that can save you some time too. Another thing to pay attention to if you do have people on automatic emails is how often are they visiting your portal. In other words, if you send them an email and they clicked on it, then this will tell you, this is a gentleman that's getting ready to sell. I sold him a house 10, 12 years ago, and I'm sending him updates as to what's happening in his neighborhood. Yes.
Steve, John Rowan is asking, what would you consider a big enough sampling when you were talking about having enough options? He's thinking for small communities.
I think probably need to have a couple of hundred properties to have a decent, otherwise one like that, if you had 200 and you had a one with 467 days, that could really throw off your statistics. It give you not a proper view or not an understanding.
Do you think too, if we all know homes are selling really quickly in the metro, and so to see that number a little bit higher, to just go scroll through and it shows you, right, the max number down there, so you can see if there's one that's
Yeah, because once in a while, you'll see one down there, it's over 1,000 days on the market. You know, a $3 or $4 million property. I thought what I would show you, something that some people are not aware of is right here, you can access your last 50 searches. So if we click down here on view all, and if you hover over it, it'll tell you what the search was. So I was searching pending, sold, for sale, and I was using our office MLS ID number, and I was searching for projected closes beyond January 7th. So this is like you could be just about ready to go home or shut everything down for the night, and maybe you're going to start a CMA. And as long as you start that CMA and then click search, it will be here. If you just put in the criteria and don't hit search, it won't show up here. That's frustrating when that. Okay, what kind of criteria did I have? Next thing I want to show you is how you could use the map to do searches and enhance your searches. So I did this ahead of time, and I did a search looking for 250,000 or less. Okay, doggone it. List price in the 7-county metro, and I just went on to the map search. And let's assume we're searching for a couple, and one of them works at the airport, and the other one works at the Mall of America. So I'm going to click on the intersection of 494 and Cedar, and I'm going to go out 30 miles. And when I click on map here, you'll see how that kind of came about. So what I've done, this is the red dot in the center there is the intersection of Cedar and 494. And they both, one of them grew up in Dakota County and the other grew up in Scott County. So they don't really want to end up north of the cities. So this dot right here is, so I did a kind of like a bell-shaped curve or whatever, and I excluded this area. So what you're seeing here, like in red or pink, there's not going to be any properties show up in that area because I excluded them. Make sense? And then I took the major highways, 212, 169, 35W, 52, and I did like a polygon search. And this is how you would do that. Let's say we're going to do another one, and we're just going to go out maybe 94 into Wisconsin. So we click here. All right. Oh, I don't want to draw a radius. I want to draw a polygon. It would help if Steve figured out what he was doing, though. So we go out here a ways, go up the other side of the interstate, click, and reconnect. And we want to include that area in the search. So sometimes, you know, if someone's fairly close to, say, they live south of the metro and they just 2 or 3 miles off of 35W, they can conceivably commute to the intersection of 494 and Cedar much quicker than someone who lives, say, on Cedar Avenue in the central part of Lakeville. Make sense? Do you want me to show you how you do something like this?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're going to start a brand new search. And So I'm gonna do 250 minus and 3+ bedrooms, 2+ car garage, total finished square feet 1,500 plus. And we'll click on the map. And so there's 76 matches right now. And so I'm gonna so here's 35 Egan. All right, so right here, I believe is intersection of Cedar and 494, pretty close to it. So I'm gonna click there and start to go out. And so I went roughly 30 miles. And now we're down, looks like we're still at 70. Now, like I said, if you wanted to, let's say all their family is south of the river and they really don't want to buy a house north of the river, north of the metro. So we're gonna do I'm gonna do a polygon. I'm just gonna come over here, come through, come up, over and down, and I'm gonna exclude that shape. So all of those matches just went away. Make sense? And then I'm gonna zoom in a little bit and just show you a couple more. So I'm gonna do another polygon, and I'm gonna come down south. I'm gonna catch Faribault. And so that is added to the area. So that's how you can, I think the most shapes you can have on one map is 10. Last time I went that far. But that gives you an idea how it works. Yeah.
Is there a reason why on that bottom one that you have drawn in, that you went into the radius? I mean, could you have just gone to the line of the radius?
Yeah, I could have. I just wanted to make
Sure, yep,
for as quick as I could get it done.
okay, just curious.
Does that make sense? Did everybody get two of the handouts? All right. And I know I've got people on the call that are, have been in real estate 20-some years, and then there's several, I'm sure, that are fairly new. Does anybody need help or never set up an automatic email to a client? All right, so I'm not going to take the time to go there. And number 2 on the list here, the map searches. I'm giving you a taste of that. And I started with a dashboard, the market watch, your favorite searches, portal visitors that have, and then I talked about the 50 most recent searches. Next thing I'm going to show you are some custom displays. So I'm going to go back out and just do, say 250 to 300 and 194 schools, 196 schools, 192 schools. Okay, so we got, looks like 18 matches down here in the bottom. So I'm going to click on results, And I'm gonna, I've got like 70 some custom displays that I created. And some of them, I don't even know why I created them. But I started doing this like 20 years ago when you couldn't do it very easily. So this is the default view right here. When you do an MLS search. So this is my active display. So what do we see in here? We got status, address, single family or townhouse, what city it's in, original list price, the current list price, days on market, cumulative days on market, how many days it's been on the market since it did a price change, when it was listed, number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms, number of garage space, foundation size, below finished or below finished below square footage, above grade finished square footage, total finished square footage, year built, dollar value per square foot based on this, for example, this price right here is $155 a square foot. And then this is the size of the lot. Now this is a twin home, so the lot's not very big, right? Here's one at 299.9, has a lot, about a third of an acre lot. So there's a lot shoved into a small space, right? I'm gonna go back out. I'm gonna throw some solds in here. So I'm gonna have active, pendings, and solds. And I'm just gonna this is not cooperative. Okay, so I'm gonna go back, say 0 to 45 days. And maybe just go to one school district. So we got a smaller, okay, we got 24. So I've got active, pending, and sold. And $350. So we got 58. So that'll be a decent number to work with. Okay, here's the active display. And now I'm gonna go to the sold display. And I'm gonna click on status. So I sort actives at the top, then pendings, and then solds. Pretty similar to what was in the actives, except now we have a sold column. And next to it, we have a seller paid closing costs. So this tells me original list price, the list price it was at when it sold, what it sold for, and if the seller paid closing costs. Do you see how this would be valuable when you're trying to do a CMA? Comments, questions?
Can you show us, and maybe I missed it, maybe you did it super quick, but how do we go in and adjust those fields so that they show? I mean, I know you've got them saved as certain.
Yeah.
How do we do that?
All right, that's where I'm going.
Okay.
Great question.
I thought you were moving on to the next thing already.
And so, as you can see in the, I know it's really small print, but I'm showing you the active and the sold. The easiest one to create is either public remarks or agent remarks. So I'm gonna go show you how to do that. Because I like to be able, when I'm doing a CMA, I like to be able to look at public remarks because that's where the agent should be putting do this, do this, do this, do that, you know, in 2020, first new in 2019. So you can kind of see. So first I'm going to go to the public remarks one. And so I just got basic data. I've got a link to the full. It's sold active, subject to inspection. It's a townhouse. Here's the address. Here's the price. bedrooms and bathrooms and total square footage. And if you kind of highlight every other one or check them, it's a little easier to see what's in the public remarks. So like I said, you'll see all the, wow, this is one of only a handful of 3-bedroom units in the complex, resort style living that is very fine as blah, 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 right? So let's go back. By the way, this is my starting default when I log in. So because I do so much in 7 county, I've got the 7 counties there and I've got active. Let's say I was going to do a bunch of CMAs and every time I logged in, I wanted to have active, pending, and sold already highlighted. So if you go right over here to where this gear is, and you click on that, then I'm going to click on that, and that's going to save what I just did, the pending and the sold. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to go back out, come back in, and now you see that not only is the active click, but also the pending and the sold. Make sense? So now I'm going to put it back the way I normally have it. Go back out, come back in, and there I am. So I got the 7 county metro, I got the active already highlighted, and we're going to do a small group. Okay, so we got 10 matches. We're going to click on results, and we want to go to the default display, which is what most of you are looking at, which is a single line grid. Is that correct? All right. I don't want this junk over here. So I'm going to remove that column. I'm going to remove that column. I'm going to remove that column. And in Farmington, we don't worry about neighborhoods like we do. So then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to kind of shorten some of this stuff up a little bit. I'm anal, so I like to center things. Days on market. I'm going to center that view. I don't know what this is. I'm going to get rid of it. So I'm going to insert a column. And when I click on insert a column, everything that you see on a full MLS printout, you can put in a one-line display. I mean, like everything. Like, okay, we got 3 bedrooms on the main level. So you could put the dimensions of that bedroom and where, if it's on the main level, it would be an M. And I'll show you one here in a second, because what frustrated me to start doing some of this was I was working with an out-of-state buyer on a reload. I think that was back when I was still with my former company. And I would show them all these houses, and the formal dining room is not big enough. Formal dining room is not big enough. Man, that ticked me off. So I went home that night, and I created a custom display that showed all the rooms on the main level and the dimensions of that room. And so when we came in the next day, I printed that out. I showed them, it looks to me like we should only be looking at this house and this house, because they got the biggest formal dining rooms. And so we looked at those two, and they bought one. But I wasted a lot of time before that, right? So we want public remarks. And there it is. Start to type in the word public, and we get public survey range. I don't even know what the heck those other 3 are, but I want public remarks. So I'm going to apply that, and all of a sudden it just shoved everything off of the rest of the side there, so we can't see them. And actually, I think there's an abbreviation for municipality. Let me see if I. Is it city? Postal city. I'm going to insert that because I think it's, yeah, it's shortened. And I'm going to get rid of municipality because I'd like to try and get as much space as I can. So all I need is Farmington, or FARM. See how I did that? Okay, there's a bunch more stuff I don't really need. So I'm going to remove that column. I'm going to remove that column. I'm going to remove that column. So believe me, it was a pain in the butt to create these custom displays years ago when we couldn't do this. Now I've forgotten how to. Shorten this up so it would create.
Steve, quick question.
Yeah,
So once you either edit or add, excuse me, add a column, do you have to back out and log back in for the changes to occur, or is this the way it is from now on?
well, great question. So right now it says single line grid. So I have to create a new name. My apologies. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to rename it right here, and I'm just going to say, see how where I found that. So if I click here, what was a single line grid is now going to be public remarks 2, or I'm going to just go. I'm going to call it PR2. So is now down at the very bottom, I think, of anything with the word "my" is something I've created, and everything that the MLS gives you is below that. So I put it at the very bottom. So if you've never created a custom display before, and you did something like what I've just done, you would have it's not doing it for me.
Yeah, I don't have the option to rename it.
You should if do you have this icon right here?
Yep.
All right. Click on that.
Okay.
And
And do a save as a copy.
Oh, that's
Save
right.
as a copy.
that's where I named it PR2. All right, I'm going to go back out real quick. Come back in and all right, so I got Farmington schools 0 to 350, and here's my results. And I want to go back to where we started to, and I should be able to get. Why did it do that? Well, okay, so I got 13 matches. Okay, there's my sold display, and all these are actives. But if I want to go single line grid, which is, okay, I'm going to start throwing stuff here pretty soon. I don't know why it's doing that to me, but well, why don't I just do this? I'm going to get rid of that column. And if I go back to that, okay, if I go back to single line grid, okay. Of the other displays that you're seeing in here, why don't I show you all right, well, I'm going to show you the custom. All right, here's a search, 650,000 or more, and they're all on a lakefront in Dakota or Scott County. So this would be the active display. Well, let's go with the sold. And I think we only got one active. We got a couple active, okay. And now I'm going to show you the custom display for lake homes. And again, it's, so we've got some, you know, $3-4 million homes here. And total finished square footage, this tells you, now if you were to do a search and print out the full MLS sheet for a lake home, they would have how many acres the lake is, how deep the lake is, what's the bottom of the lake, what's most, I'm not much of a fisherman, but I understand sandy bottoms are desirable, right? So you got someone who's a serious buyer for a lake home. And then the property, this house, priced at $2,970,000 is considered lakefront. And I also search for deeded access. And then in the DNR system, you bring the ID number, it appears right here. What's the name of the lake? And then if you get up north, you know, there are lakes that are in a chain. Probably all of these are no. And then this is the lot that's on the lake, tells you how big the lot is. Now, can you see how that would be very helpful to hand? Now, you used to be able to email this to a buyer and use whatever custom display you wanted to use. But I don't think we can't do it anymore. I was playing around trying to figure it out. But wouldn't that be nice if you could email this information to your buyer and in just one piece of paper, they'd know how big the lake is, how big the lot is, how deep the lake is, and all of that. Make sense? So now I'm going to show you one for hobby farms. And again, I know it's real small print, but there's an example in the handout. So I'm going to go 10 or more acres. And I was going to do Dakota and Scott again for this search. And I'm going to go 750 or more on the list price. I got 7 that are active. Throw in some pendings and solds. Close date. Let's try 0. Let's go back 120 days. That gives us 18. That's a nice number. So, sort of by active, pending, sold. Now this is the sold display. And here's the horse setup display. Again, I don't need all the information on this sheet that I would have if I just printed out the active display or the sold display, but this tells me how many acres of grass, how many acres are tillable, how many acres are wooded. This is all on the sheet, right? If you searching for horse buyer, all of this would be on the sheet in a small little area. And like I said, you can take an MLS sheet and put anything you want on a one-line display. What's the fencing? What county is it in? Is it a hobby farm or a horse farm or other dairy farm here? What are the buildings? We've got an indoor arena on this $1.5 million one on Natchez. Outdoor arena, whole building, stables, storage shed. The names of just about anything that they put in there, correct? Helpful? So if you were taking a regular display and you were going to start, you get rid of them like I did. I got rid of those ones on the end that were useful because we're trying to build this, and I got rid of the columns over here that I didn't need. Then I just start, and you've got it in the handout. So the first thing you would put in is probably acres. And the next one you put in is grass, if you wanted to create the exact same thing. Make sense? All right, we're getting down. All right, I'm going to show you. I think another one that's real important to show. Have you ever had someone look for a mother-in-law apartment? Okay. Well, there's 2 ways you can do that. You can search by remarks, and now they've got so this remarks all will search financial remarks, agent remarks, public remarks, and I don't know if there's anything else besides that, but so we're going to search in remarks, and we're going to hit asterisk. Or am I clicked in there yet? Okay, I'm going to use the asterisk space MOTHER in law space asterisk. Oh, we got 5 in the 7-county metro that are active right now.
Is the space after and before the asterisk important?
No, it's great question. You could eliminate the spaces, I believe, and still get the same results. Let's just, while we're here, let's go most likely to public remarks. And let's see. Unique layout offers lots of flexibility. Main floor suite with a bathroom and kitchenette can also flex as a rec room and mother-in-law apartment. So that's one way you can search for a mother-in-law apartment. There's actually, we've learned by now, hundreds of times I have, I've been in this business for 28 years, that the search that you create is only as accurate as the people who fill in the data, right? I mean, if they'd have misspelled the word mother, right? If they'd left the R off the end of mother, I wouldn't have found that property, right? So it's only as accurate as the people that are typing the data in.
So if mother-in-law was using hyphens, which I've seen. then
Well,
it would
let's see.
show up.
Let's see. Well, what we can do is we can go comma and do other combinations.
Okay.
Why don't we try that? So I'm gonna go comma, space, I'm gonna do asterisk, no space after that, MOTHER, and then just an asterisk. So just with the word mother, I don't know, maybe I better put more in here than that.
It made a big difference in my search. I'm not doing the exact same search as you are, but when I put in just mother,
Yeah,
it went from like 5 to 23.
yeah, I got 24 now with a combination of mother-in-law and just the word mother with an asterisk on each end of just that word with no space. We should have kept track of one. Quality custom built homes, significantly less than the others. Quality 2.8 acres, 5,000 square finished.
I've got one here that says listing agent is mother of the seller.
Okay.
So, we get other things too, but.
Thank you for sharing that. So, yeah, so maybe let's try with the,
Well, if you look at line number 9,
yeah,
that mother-in-law is hyphenated. So that just, you're bringing into a different,
here?
Yep.
Okay,
all the way over to the right, right there.
you're right. Okay, so I'm gonna go back and include the hyphens in there. So that'll eliminate the mother of the agent thing.
Steve?
Yeah,
Just a reminder too, that when you walk over to the screen and point things out, it's great for us, but the people on
I know.
screen can't see you doing that.
Thank you for pointing that out. Okay, so now I got 18. So we only had a few before, now we got more matches. Where was the first one I read anyway? Tell me if you see one. Bonus room, 3/4 bath, backsplash. Okay, here's a mother-in-law apartment at number 7. So, and I think on this sheet, I put some other possibilities of how you might use wooded lot. Maybe someone's looking for some hunting ground, private, someone wants a private backyard, private lot, wildlife, contract for deed, I mean, there's a way to search for contract for deed under financing that will be accepted, but they might put the word contract for deed in here and not check the type of financing that they would accept. So think like someone who's making mistakes, right?
Steve, on that note, here's a question for you. If you have, like I've had an FHA buyer before and with a low budget. So I know that some of the lower budget homes aren't going to go FHA. They won't be approved for FHA.
Uh-huh.
But I'd hate to search only FHA, you know, that says FHA in the listing, because sometimes people don't fill that out, so I don't want to limit it, you know, I don't want to miss out on anything.
Yeah.
Is there a good way to search for FHA approved homes without filling that one out that you can think of? I don't think there is.
Yeah, you know, there are homes that I'll call them FHA challenged, but you know, maybe the work orders wouldn't be that huge. So in this time when we've got a short supply of inventory, maybe we got to get creative and just say, okay, we're gonna look for a house that maybe has decent elbow grease and see if we can't figure out a way to get an offer accepted and get the work done. I mean, what else you gonna do? Bang your head against the door? All right. One thing I do for my sellers is I do what's called a competition report before we come on the market, and then I keep it active. So I just copied a MLS number. Thought I did. So I'll show you how I set that up. So I'm going to copy this MLS number. No, I don't. I want. All right, so I'm going to copy this MLS number right here. And this is probably how many of you do a CMA anyway. All right, so I got the MLS number there. And you can, let's just say we're going to do a 2 mile radius of that house. We want sold, pending, and active. I'm going to only go back, I'm only going to go back about 35 days or so. And so I got 92 matches. And what I will do, I want to get this number down smaller. So I'm going to go 3 plus, 2 plus, 2 plus, okay, so I got 15 and so I want, and I think we all know, we want to stay within the same neighborhoods, right? And out here south of the river, it's very important to stay with school districts. Now, it's possible that you might be doing a CMA on a house that half a mile over is a whole different school district, and that can make a world of difference. And I didn't put that in, so I'm going to go. I got it. I took the MLS number of a house in White Bear Lake. I can't compare it to Farmington. All right. I got it. But anyway, I will create the search and then set up an automatic email to my seller, and the subject line is competition report. And I don't know if you saw me earlier, I said, this is a guy that's getting ready to sell his house. He's moving back to Europe. He's a professional violin player. And I sold him the house, 12 years ago, probably, or whatever. And so he's getting his house ready. And so twice a week or 3 times a week, he gets an email from me that shows any new actives. If there've been one that went from active to pending, then he'll see that. And if there's one that went from pending to sold, he'll see that. So it's a good way, I feel, to kind of keep them up to date. And every time he gets an email, he sends me a thank you email back. So that's number 7, the competition report. So you do a radius around the property, make sure you're in the same school district. And if you're getting into Minneapolis and St. Paul, make sure you stay in the same neighborhoods. I don't know if you've come across that yet, but that's real important. Oh, and I was going to show you another way to search for the mother-in-law apartment. Believe it or not, there's actually, now these are all, everything you're going to see from here below are things that I just added in here. And there are things that you can search by or things that show up on an MLS full property. And right here is second unit. So if you wanted to create this, go there and easily divided, existing in-law, well, I'm gonna highlight them all. So existing in-law with bath, existing in-law with kitchen, and formerly was subdivided. So you could do a search right here. Then you could also do the mother-in-law keywords or remarks. And you might get 1 or 2 more here, because most people don't even know this exists here, and they may not fill it out correctly, right? And if they don't fill it out correctly, then if I search by this, I won't get any results, right? I got 70. Wow, that's surprising. So there are 70 properties out there that somebody designated one of those 4 things. Easily divided, existing in-law with bath, existing in-law with kitchen, and formerly subdivided. So in other words, at one point, I've got a house right now that I'm going to list pretty soon. Was a duplex in St. Paul, but I'm gonna put formerly subdivided right here, because you can have a mother-in-law living on the main level and the rest of the family upstairs. So well, I'm willing to go a little longer, but it's after 3, so I understand you need to go. Yeah, why don't we just, we'll quit there, and I'll teach this class again, and I'll be better prepared to use my computer or know what I'm doing.
This was great. It was
Helpful?
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, very.
got a lot of.
Good.
Thank you.
And if you're trying to build a custom display and you want a little help, let me know. I'd be happy to help you. I just feel like a lot of these custom, well, here, I'll show, I didn't show you. So we got 70 matches with the mother-in-law thing, right? Come on. All right. I told you I had one with all the room dimensions on bedroom level and family, living room dimensions. Okay, here we go. So, so what level is the kitchen on? It's on the main level. What are the dimensions of the kitchen? 15 by 8. Living room on the main. Dimensions, dining room, main. Dimensions, family room, upper, and there's the dimensions. So like I said, anything that's on an MLS sheet, when you print it out, just like you take a scissors and cut out all those things and cut and paste it. And it's in one line display.
At a glance.
Huh?
It's at a glance. It's all right there.
Yeah, it's right there.
Well, it makes you an expert pretty darn quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it does, so you're gonna show them 6 houses. All right, so, and something I didn't show you, I don't think was, let's do a townhome search. And I don't care how many matches I got. Doggone this mouse. What if you wanted to know what the association dues cover? Right there it is. Heating, air conditioning, sanitation, and all, whatever's in that line there. And then right here are the association fees. Here's the name of the association. Here's the property taxes. And if there's restrictions for pets, covenants and restrictions. You got it right there. So you name it, you can create it.
That is really handy.
Huh?
That's really handy.
Okay, great.
Well, and so every search you do, you save it, and
Yeah.
inevitably you come back to,
Just-
similar searches.
Once you create it, it's there forever.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was working on this last night, I deleted about 6 of my displays because I thought, what the hell did I ever have this for?
And now you'll need them. Oh, that was great. Thank you, Steve.
You bet. Thanks for coming.
Hey, Steve, what is the best way to look for foreclosures?
Foreclosures? Good question. Let's just go into remarks maybe and see what we get with EANK space OWNED space asterisk. I'm gonna go back out and come back in. They're just, I don't know if you're aware, but right here are distressed only. So if you click that, there are 53 in there right now that are distressed in one way or another. And the way, here, I don't know if you can see this, I'll put it up a little higher. See the lender owned and in foreclosure, a potential short sale. So if we click yes, 37 of them are already banked owned, but there aren't, it's very small number of bank owned homes right now. That could change dramatically in about 6 months.
So you had distressed only over in the right corner. How did you get?
That was already there. It should be,
already
yeah.
because of a previous search?
No, great question. That's already there. And if you want to do a search, if I'm doing a CMA on a regular house, I don't want to compare to a bank owned.
Right.
So I'll exclude
Okay.
distressed because I don't want to compare, a house that needs $50,000 worth of work compared to one that just had $50,000 worth of upgrades, right? I had a couple things I was gonna show you on my Rall report spreadsheet, but I can't project it up there. So just a couple of things to keep in mind. The two biggest listing days almost exclusively are Thursdays and Fridays. So if you've got a buyer that just got beat out on Sunday afternoon and multiple offers, hang on till Thursday. There'll be a bunch more, there'll be some more on Thursday. And kind of like vice versa, if you're working with a seller, tell them, hey, the biggest number of new listings hit on a Thursday and a Friday. What if we came on Wednesday, kind of beat them a little bit? Make sense? And, you know, if you, I thought we would be over 4,000 active listings right now in the 7-county market. We're not. I predicted that, so I'm way off. We're at 3,600. So we actually, so far, have gone downhill in the active inventory. And I don't know, it may take us a month or two to get out of there. Because, you know, if we go back, remember to our dashboard? There's 650 new pendings in the last 7 days. And the new listings are at 882, which is good, but still, what is today? Tuesday? So on Friday, that new listings may say 1,000. So I don't know how quickly we're going to get above 4,000 active listings, and already we're back. I didn't say anything last Wednesday when I sent the Rall report, but we had more pendings than we did active, so we're already over 100%, which, you know, we did the last 17 weeks of 2020, and here we're starting off. I don't know how we get out of there. I mean, if everybody just went to Jamaica for a week and all the buyer's agents, I still think
It's a nice idea either way.
exactly.
Team building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Building exercise. Yeah. Field trip. Thank you.
You bet.
Thanks, Steve. That was great.
Well, I'll take a couple of the subjects that I didn't cover today, like I'll show you how you can, in the MLS, you could go back and say, well, I wonder how many houses were for sale in Lakeville between 400,000 and 600,000 5 years ago. And I'll show you how through the MLS you can pull that data out. And so if you were going out to do a CMA on a house that's going to list around 500, you could say, you know, you're in a really good position here because we only have about 20 for sale right now, but 5 years ago there was 85.
And that's, yeah, good solid information for them to say, oh, okay.
Yeah, I just discovered something today. You know, this MLS has changed a lot. You know, I've been a broker for so long, I haven't been doing that many searches for sales, but right here, you know, I had some blanks in my charts. I didn't have any data to put in there. It'll take me some work, but I can, with this information right here, I can say, okay, how many houses went pending? Let's say October 20th, 2020. Okay. Got two keyboards here. So October 20th, 2020. There were three houses went pending on October 20th. And so, and then October 21st, 10, October 22nd, 3, 23rd, 7, 24th, 9. So if I wanted to know how many went pending in the last 7 days, all I have to do is add another column to my spreadsheet, and I just start adding these numbers in here and then add them up on the 7th day. So I could go back to 2015 or 2016 or whatever and kind of fill in the blanks.
Yeah, I've never used that column to the right of it, and I always do the, what's the status, but never narrow the search on something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't done that. But that's nice, that's handy. Yeah, really handy.
Okay, you guys, thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Steve. You have a good evening.
Wonder if Joe's still on there? Or he was just logged in.